So guys, Coach Nick at Fort Worth Strong, week 4 of season 4. I'm dropping correctives for our Thursday workout within our group setting. I'll kind of jump right into it, but we've got pretty minimal day. 4 exercises we're going to run through. It will be the shortest that we've seen series-wise. We'll need a wall, something we can post up against because we'll be standing on the wall. We'll also be seated on the wall. And then some sort of tool that we're going to use to trap between our legs in our final stretch. So that could be a pillow, that could be, I've got a little plyo ball kind of deflated, or the yoga blocks that I'll demonstrate with. But first one, we're posted on the wall, but we've got a butterfly stretch. So main thing is hug that wall, get real tight, hips are against the wall. We're going to pull those legs in close, and then I'm going to posture up. So using that wall to get the hips in a decent position. And then a couple ways we can approach this. Within those 2 minutes, we could just try to stay passive, maybe use the arms as weights to help assist in that stretch, because it's going to open up the adductors through the hips, so you'll feel like the groin or that inner thigh kind of pull or stretch throughout this. If we want to assist ourselves to create more load, I do like the P&F style, so this could be kind of an on and off thing, to where instead of adding weight, we'd press into the thighs, and then I'd also oppose that press with my legs. So I'm actually pressing down with hands, but pressing up with legs. My hips turn on, you can feel or kind of see that activation. But I'd hold this for like 3 to 5 seconds and then relax. Maybe 10 to 15 seconds and then do it again. It's just a decent amount of pressure, it doesn't have to be max effort. But that should help you kind of settle into this and open up a bit more throughout it. Another static deal we could do is we could add additional load. I've got 15-pound dumbbells here. It's probably more than enough, but you could either place them on the knees themselves or just kind of let the wrists rest there. And then same idea as always with these static holds, is we're just going to try to focus on breath, focus on posture, and settling into this stretch. So that'll be our first one, 2 minutes there in that butterfly hold. Second and third one are going to be similar setup, same setup, but similar movements. So we've got our 90-90 degree. We work a lot of rotation from this and our warm-ups and whatnot, but we've got 90 degrees at the knee, the ankle, the hip, and we'd follow that into the back side or back leg. First one, we're going to do internal rotation of the hip. So I'm going to have that back foot once I get squared up, and I'm going to try to lift it off the ground. And so that's me turning at the hip to create that movement or that space between the floor. And I'm going to go 30 seconds here, real strong, really trying to turn and lift that foot as high as I can. And we'd flip, do it on the other side, maintain that hip extension, so try not to fold or let that knee crawl forward towards that front leg. Keep that space here, and then same idea, square up and then rotate, lift that back foot, and then notice how different they may feel, one stronger than the other. If we're real limited through the motion, just use that as feedback. And then second, from this position, again, real similar, so we'll go through that setup. And then instead of just lifting the foot through rotation, we're going to lift the entire leg and ankle. So maintain that extension, but I do have some space there, maybe hard to see, but I've got that knee and that foot off the ground, and I'm just going to fight there, trying to keep that isometric hold for 30 seconds. Do that same thing on the other side, pay attention to if it feels balanced or not. And then finally, we've got our standing wall block. So again, whatever the tool is, something that you can apply a little bit of pressure. I'm going to use 2 yoga blocks, sandwiched in between my thighs, so it's right above the knee. And then I'm going to get set up on the wall, but what I'm looking for is feet are going to stay squared up. Try not to turn them out. We want the rotation to come from the hip. So when I rotate at the hip, that's going to kind of push my hips forward into extension. And then we're just going to hold that. So I'm going to line up heels against the wall, hips against the wall, upper back against the wall, head against the wall, and then that's my posture. So everything's stacked, and then my steps here, good kind of grab of the floor with the feet, and then I'm going to try to actually rotate at the hip. A little bit of pressure between my thighs on the blocks, something that you could sustain for the next 2 or 3 minutes, and then just breathe and try to settle into this as best you can. So this, for me, is one that will kind of highlight some of the imbalance I may have through my lower leg. I might get some cramping or some additional tension through my calf or my tibialis, just kind of highlighting that it's maybe not always as active or as active as my left as it should be. And so Yeah, stay within that stretch. Doesn't have to be a max effort squeeze or hold or rotation, but go through those things because that will give some intent other than you just kind of standing against the wall looking silly. But 4 stretches, again, 2-minute butterfly, 30 seconds on the foot lift, 30 seconds on the leg lift on each side, and then 2 to 3 minutes in our standing wall block.